everyone, Renee here. I just want to share a few things that I've been really excited about recently, which is something that just doesn't happen too often anymore. Instead of a monthly favorites, this is more like a random favorites, which I hope to do more regularly. I love a good skincare device. I've discovered a new one. It's been such a game changer, perfect for the season. It was recommended by a friend who I feel so indebted to. I especially have to be really careful of getting any kind of insect bites. My skin has an unusually big reaction. They end up becoming large mounds that are so swollen that actually are painful. The red scars will last for like months and months and months. No matter how much insect repellent I use, I will always still get bitten. So when that happens, the Beurer BR60 Insect Bite Healer will get rid of everything, the inflammation, the itchiness. Beurer is a German brand that makes a lot of medical devices. So ones that will measure your blood pressure, your heart rate. The applicator here has a little ceramic plate. You put it on your insect bite. This applies very targeted heat on the insect bite, which works under the skin to dissolve the venom, the saliva, or any of the other irritants or anything that causes your skin to react. This goes to about 104 degrees, and there are two settings, a 3-second one for sensitive skin, which is what I use, and that's actually more than enough. There's also a 6-second setting as well, and when you do apply it, the feeling you get is kind of a heat stingy effect, but it's not burning your skin. This is way better than scratching. You just apply it and the itching just goes. I don't have to deal with all the red marks that just last way through and past the summer. At this point, I need whatever I put around my eye area to work really hard. I love a Retinaldehyde Eye Cream, and I've tried a few actually, because a few have recently come out, but this is the one that I use. Avene had probably one of the very first retinaldehyde formulas, and this was before it was even known. When it comes to my favorite actives, I like the formulas to be as simple as possible. This is retinaldehyde with some very simple but effective emollients for moisturizing. It's very moisturizing, and that is the other thing that I do really love about this is the texture and the application. So it actually is a dense eye cream, but it is not heavy and it's not oily. It's a dense eye cream that pretty much sinks in as you apply it. It feels very non-invasive and oddly light, not greasy or oily in the least. I could even use it on my upper mobile lids without it feeling very heavy or waking up with puffy eyes. If I layer this over an eye serum, it's not too much at all. Another of my favorite summer discoveries so far is from Allie, from Kanibo. It's a Japanese sunscreen brand that has been doing some really great things recently. Their Cheek UV with an SPF of 50 and a PA of 4+. Not only does it have some great technology behind it to make sure that it gives you increased protection around areas in which, quite frankly, this is where I have all my hyperpigmentation, so it's always nice to have that extra protection around these areas. I did a shorts on these already, but I always prefer a little bit more detail. I always appreciate that with Japanese sunscreens, the focus isn't just better protection, but also if it can help you look better too, why not? So this new cheek collection launched with 3 options, the warm orange, the lucent pink, and the other is more like a highlighter, which really isn't my favorite, so I'm not gonna focus on that. You really can't go wrong with either the pink or the warm peach. So this is something you use on top of your regular base of sunscreen. This is long lasting, it's resistant to all the things we want it to be. Sweat, sebum, and friction. It stays. They also state the color lasts for 8 hours, but I've had this on for 12 hours and the color stays as well, and if not better, than any other blush makeup I use. They put research into this and developed the color UV veil technology. This ensures that when you apply it, it doesn't mix with your makeup or layers underneath that may possibly compromise the effectiveness of the UV coverage or even make it patchy. So after application, I always check with my UV mirror, and lo and behold, there is a really substantial and even coverage around this area, and that makes me very happy because I need extra protection here. This blends beautifully. The texture is so light. It actually even feels a little hydrating when you apply it. It also builds really nicely. So more sun protection, I want to talk about the new mineral tints from Neutrogena. They're Purescreen Mineral UV Tint Face Liquid with vitamin E with a broad spectrum SPF of 30. So I love that this is a drugstore option that gives me the same experience as a lot of the more luxury green beauty sunscreens, such as Ilia, bloom effects. Even the new Tatcha sunscreen that had the worst packaging ever and just exploded everywhere. Those mineral sunscreens I love because they are blendable, they are lightweight, and also they give me that beautiful glowy finish that I love so much. So if you're not a fan of glowiness and you prefer the dry touch mineral sunscreens, then there are other options for you. I prefer the medium. This is what I use. The light is maybe a bit light for my taste, but also even though the medium, it comes out really dark looking for my skin tone, it blends out to really nothing. If anything, I feel like it makes my skin just look kind of healthy. And of course, there is that glowiness. Because these shades have no coverage, they are so sheer and completely blend out. So each shade will cover a pretty wide range of skin tones. They kind of remind me of the Chanel water tints. Of course, they're not exactly the same by any means, but it's kind of that very sheer, no coverage tint that just makes your complexion look better somehow. And speaking of the Waterfresh tint, which I've loved for years, I do feel I have to quickly mention I am loving the fact that they came out this summer. The new Let's Beige collection came out with the travel size, which is also less expensive. There's also a travel size that's really cute of their iconic cream bronzer, and also that gorgeous body oil they have that just gives enough sparkle. So this has been a very pleasant surprise from Rhode. Their Glazing Milk. Look, you know how much I love a milky toner, a milky formula, a biphase formula, an emulsion. This to me sits between Paula's Choice Calm Collection Milky Toner, which is very thin, absorbs like fully, and the Laneige Cream Skin, or the original formula that was quite heavy and always left this greasiness on the skin. It's what Goldilocks would have picked. This comes out quite densely milky, and it feels hydrating and moisturizing when you apply it on the skin, as well as very comforting. But then it kind of absorbs and dries down to a finish that does not leave any oiliness, but your skin feels moisturized, and it does leave a nice radiance without the oiliness or greasiness. This is very versatile, but the way I use it, and I feel this works best, is as a liquid moisturizer. This has all the moisturizing ingredients, but it's also hydrating as well. I do Serum Essence This Moisturizing Sunscreen, and that is just perfect for me because my skin is more hydrated and it has just enough moisturizer. For me, it's always from thinnest to thickest consistency and hydrating to moisturizing. That's just how I do. So these are some standout favorites, things that I've been really loving and using recently, and I hope to do this more often. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'm wishing you great skin health. Bye!